Hi everyone, welcome to Things Lucy Reads. I'm Luce and this is a wrap-up video. Okay, so the books I'm going to wrap up in this video are books 31 and 32, 40, 43, 49, 57 and 60, and they are all Star Wars books. Books 32, 49 and 60 are the first 3 issues in the Poe Dameron comic series by Charles Soule and Phil Noto. I gave every issue 4 stars out of 5. Poe is my favorite Star Wars character in anything, any movie, any TV show, any book, ever. And so I was really excited when I found out they were going to make a comic because it just meant more Poe, and I'm always down for that. It's pretty good so far. It's set before The Force Awakens when Poe and a team of pilots are out doing a preliminary search for Lor San Tekka, who he discovers in the first part of the film. It's pretty good. He stumbles across this kind of cult thing, and then they get attacked by the First Order, and so they've got to get out of that. And that was all really interesting and really fun to read about. All of the characters are really well written, I think. In Poe's Squadron is Jess Pava and Snap Wexley, who are also in the film briefly. It also has Kare Kun, who is in Before the Awakening, and I'm so happy that she was included. There's also an alien called Lulo, who was briefly in Shattered Empire, who was a friend of Poe's mother, and Poe himself. And then also part of the squadron, but not actually a pilot, is an Abednego called Odi Mover. So it's all characters that we've already been introduced to, which is nice because apart from Poe, none of them really got any screen time or page time or anything. So it's really great that they get to come out and shine. And I hope in the next issues that Iolo from Before the Awakening, who was also Poe's friend, is introduced as well, because that would be really great. I don't usually read comic series issue by issue like this because I find each issue totally unsatisfying, but I just couldn't wait for the trade to come out. So I've been getting this one through Comixology, and it's really great. And I can't wait for the 4th one because there was a little Q&A in the back of issue number 3, and apparently number 4 is going to concentrate a little bit more on all of the characters' relationships with each other. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm really, really, really hoping that Poe is going to be canonically gay or bi or something, just not straight, because everybody wants it to happen pretty much. Everyone is on board with this. They should just really do it. Anyway, so if you've been thinking about picking up this comic series, I definitely recommend it. If you like Poe as a character, I definitely recommend it. It's really, really good so far, and I look forward to it every single month. The next 2 books I'm going to talk about are number 31 and number 40, and they are the first 2 volumes of Star Wars Legacy Volume 2. Which is a series which is part of the Legends universe now. It follows a character called Anya Solo, who is the granddaughter or great-granddaughter of Han and Leia. The first issue was all about her and a Mon Calamari friend of hers called... I can't remember his name. Anyway, they were kind of not really in servitude, but they had a shitty job on a terrible planet and they wanted to like leave and kind of find adventure. And they came across this lightsaber, which drew them into this kind of thing involving a captured Jedi Master and his apprentice, and then a Sith Lord. And it's been a while since I've read the first one, so I can't remember specific, but I gave it 3.5 stars because it was pretty good introduction to the series. Kind of wanted to make you know what happened next, which is always good. The reason I can't show it to you right now is because I borrowed it from the library. The second book I can show you because I bought it for myself. It was like 10 bucks, so I got it. In this issue, they end up going to Dak, which is the homeworld of the Mon Calamari, because there's been this lie put out that it's livable again. In this world, the water was poisoned, so no one could live there anymore, but all of the Mon Calamari and the Quarren were told that it was livable again to draw them there, and then they were basically enslaved by it's not the Empire, but whatever the Empire is calling itself now. So it was pretty good. I gave this volume 4 stars. It was just that it was like a complete side plot with very little to tie it to the plot that had been introduced in the first volume. And I am going to read the other 2 volumes as well, because so far I really like this story and I really like Anya. And yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so the next book I'm going to talk about is number 43, which is Kindred Spirits by Rainbow Rowell, which is about a girl called Elena who is a total Star Wars fan, and she camps out in front of the cinema for the premiere of The Force Awakens, and it doesn't end up turning out how she thought it was going to be, because the line is only 3 people long and it doesn't really kind of pick up until the day of the premiere. And she's there with these 2 guys. One of them is called Gabe and one of them is called Troy, and Troy is like a veteran of camping in line for Star Wars premieres, and Gabe is Elena's age. And it's just kind of an exploration of being a Star Wars fan and the different levels of that, and kind of stereotyping someone as either being a Star Wars fan or not being a Star Wars fan. It was just a really, really enjoyable novella. I liked it much more than I thought I would. I would definitely recommend this one. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. And then the last book I'm going to talk about is number 57, which is the junior novelization of The Force Awakens by Michael Cogg, or Coggy, however you pronounce that. I do also own the adult novelization, and I have read that also. I gave that one 5 stars, I believe, and I gave this one 4 stars. Because it's a junior novelization, it is kind of dumbed down a little bit, except despite that, it was a lot more intense in terms of the aftermath of Poe being tortured and his escape from Jakku with Finn. That kind of went into a little bit more detail into how Poe was feeling than the adult novelization did, which it's just kind of weird that it was in the junior novelization and not the adult novelization. There were also a few extra little scenes in it, especially at the start. There's a scene with Finn and his stormtrooper squad going through a simulation prior to landing on Jakku. And it also explains, which the adult novelization didn't, it explains why it was necessary to destroy the thermal oscillator on Starkiller Base and why that would have the consequences that it did. The adult novelization explained how the weapon worked, but didn't explain why this was a thing that they needed to destroy and what would happen when it was destroyed. But this one did explain that, which was really, really helpful. Because I like to know all of those things. I don't like to just take it at face value. I want to know the science. So both of the novelizations have given me that, which is good. I would definitely recommend reading both of these if you liked the film and you're into reading novelizations, because even though it's a novelization of the same film, they are quite different. So it's definitely worth it. Okay, so that is all of the Star Wars books that I have read in this kind of 2-month block. That is all I have for you for this wrap up. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone.